Alrighty. Okay, good evening, everyone. I'm trying to keep it down here because there are other people here. Just wanted to talk a little bit about groomer health because I think one of the biggest issues in the grooming industry that we just don't talk enough about is groomers' health. Um, One of the groomers who called me, I think this was a few months ago. She had a kidney surgery. Then she had another kidney surgery because of complications. She missed a lot of work, and then unfortunately she didn't have great employers, and they kind of put her in a bad situation after that. But anyways, you know, I just hear this all the time because carpal tunnel, our shoulders. I went through a point where my shoulder was hurting so bad. My rotator cuff, I mean, it was just so, I couldn't even lift my arm like that to the side. And so it was to the point where it kept me up at night. I couldn't even sleep. Then, sometimes my knees hurt, and things like that. And so, but then when I watch other groomers, because I follow a lot of different groomers, I'm a fan. But when I see a lot of their posts, even my posts sometimes, because when I go out and visit it, when I'm on vacation, quote unquote, like mini vacation, I don't really care about healthy foods. So yeah, I eat burgers and fatty foods and stuff once in a while. But it's not like I do that every day, like every day. I'm looking for some good source of protein. Sometimes chicken, sometimes salmon. I love cooking salmon now. I'm getting pretty good at it. But anyways, or steak, something lean, and then some vegetables. Today I had romaine lettuce for lunch, and season. Anyways, but hey, Dolores, hey, yes, we do need to get better at taking care exactly because the thing is, any other profession where your physical ability, your body is the way you earn income. You have to literally go out there and perform. They're athletes. I mean, basketball players, football players, soccer players. Only athletes really go out to work and perform physically. Have to, have all these physical demands on our bodies the way we do for hours. I mean, 8, 9 hours standing on our feet, sweating. This is, and a lot of times we don't even take breaks, right? I don't sometimes because I know that if I stop grooming and I take a break to eat a power bar or something, then that time, and I do now, I give the dog a break, and during that time, I'll eat a power bar or something. But like, I can't stop and sit down and eat a lunch, because then the dog's not being groomed, right? And so a lot of groomers suffer from like high blood sugar, because it gets all out of whack. We drink coffee instead of water and things like that, soft drinks. So here's what I'm saying is that I remember one of the first workshops I went to was with the ISCC, the International Society of Canine Cosmetologists, and Pam Loritzen. She made the point that joints deteriorate. Joints get weaker the more we put pressure and use them. The more stress we put on our joints, the more they deteriorate. Right. That's why my shoulder was hurting. Right. All that work and the pressure and stress I was putting on the joints. Muscles get stronger. The more you work a muscle and the more you put stress on the muscle, it actually gets stronger. So that's the point. You want to strengthen the muscles around your joints so that your joints don't have to work so hard because the muscles are around the joints are strong enough to, ease some of that tension. So that's why I really believe that groomers, you know what? I don't like to use the word should or need or things like that, but this time I'm going to. I really believe that groomers should do some sort of resistance training, even if it's light, even if you're not trying to become like a bodybuilder, like get muscles, just doing light resistance training, 30 minutes a day. I think that it will not only give you a longer career that's pain-free, or relatively pain-free, but also it helps you enjoy your work more, right? I know that usually in the spring, I mean, even though the dogs are taking longer and it's a little more work, I feel better. My joints aren't bothering me, because I'm eating better. First of all, I'm eating better. And here's the thing Joe Rogan gives a really good, simple way to pick what to eat. He was like, if you can't look at it and say, yeah, that's an avocado, that's a banana, that's a chicken, if you can't just point at something and know what it is, he's saying you probably shouldn't eat it, he was saying like stay on the outside aisles of the grocery store, with the produce and the fruits and all that, and the meats. Stay on the outsides. He was like, don't go on the inside aisles because, and he's saying if you do, go in there with a mission. Don't look around because don't go on the cereal aisle, because a lot of the sugar and everything is what's making us feel so tired and wearing us down. Then we're putting more pressure and tension on our joints, then that breaks us down more. And then we're sore, we're hurting. Then in the morning, we didn't really get that much rest. We're pushing ourselves more the next day. And then by the end of the week, oh my God, we're just so ready for the weekend, right? And then we don't even have the energy to really do anything fun. And then we have barely enough time to recover. So our body doesn't feel so sore and achy. And then we got to hit it again on Monday. It's like, um, Dolores Parr, simple yoga techniques before we start each day is a great way to start. Oh, I love that. Working out is better, but at least a great stretch is better than nothing at all. Exactly. Stretching. I remember when I was in elementary school, before we started school even, we would do like 15 minutes of calisthenics. Did I pronounce that right? Calisthenics? But anyways, jumping jacks, stretching and stuff like that. I remember they kind of did a program like that when I was a kid back in the 80s. Our favorite groomer, Patty. What's up, Patty? She says, exactly. I agree, Dolores. This muscle here that goes along here, stretch that like that, stretch those muscles, the forearm, because that's where a lot of that pain is going to come from. That wrist pain is those muscles right there that need to be stretched, right? And then if you want to, funny little thing, this muscle here, this foot muscle that you flex, see that? I don't know if you can see that angle. But this is the muscle that you flex. See that? See how I can flex that? That's the muscle that you flex in order to lock and pop when you're breakdancing. When you're dancing, you flex this muscle. So instead of just doing a wave, if you flex that muscle, why are you doing the wave? All of a sudden, anyways. So if you want to get into dance, you could do some dance routines in the morning. Turn on a favorite song of yours and bam, 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 bam. Just locking and popping. There's a liquid pop in the morning before you start grooming. Hey, the dogs might like you more. What I'm saying though is, you wanna incorporate, you wanna live the lifestyle of an athlete. Um, let's see, the the example that I wanted to share. Like I shared this before in another stream talking about mindset, but I think this is gonna help. You know, talking about our health as well, because this applies to health. They took the study was done by Aaliyah Crum, and if you look on YouTube, she did a TED talk about this study that they did, this research. Her name is Aaliyah, Alia Crum. I think it's Crum. Yeah, I don't think it's K. I think it's Crum. Anyways, what they did was they took, I think 80, 84, something like that. Let's just say 80 for the simplicity of it. They took 80 hotel maids, right? And they showed them a 15-minute presentation of about showing how their job actually helps their health. They're exceeding the daily limit, the daily recommended amount of physical exercise. And they showed like how when they're vacuuming, they're working out their tris and their bis and all that stuff, their triceps and biceps and shoulders. When they're making the bed, they're working the shoulder muscles and their lats. Anyways, it was all made up. None of this was actually true. It was just made up, and they made it seem like a professional video, so it's believable, right? They also handed out a printout, so they had a handout. The half of the hotel maids, so 40 of the hotel maids, watched the video and got a handout that showed all of the statistics and the facts of fake facts, alternative facts about why their job is actually helpful, healthy. It's like going to the gym, right? The other 40 maids, other half, they didn't, they didn't tell them anything. They were just a control group, right? They went back, I think it was like a month later, and the group that actually saw the video changes, obviously. Then they went back like 6 months later, and I think like a year later, to see the long-term effects of the power of your thinking, and they had continued improvement. In fact, the group where they saw the video and got the handout, a lot of the women, I think she said like 20% of them, actually started going to the gym and actually started like exercise like outside of work. They started to feel more healthier and more full of energy. They actually started to do more exercise things outside of work. You know, and so it's really interesting. Oh, the doctor I sat next to on the plane. Dr. Rhonda Kaufman, she was telling me when I told her that, she was telling me that it could have been even several factors, not just that, made the bed a little bit. She was like, everything they did, they probably did it a little bit more, like it was a real workout. She was like, and that could have had a contributed to that as well. Not just the positive thoughts, but the positive thinking got them to actually work differently. And she was saying it could have been a combination of all of that. But it is fascinating that these hotel maids became healthy. They because they saw themselves as athletes, So same thing, groomers. If we start to consider ourselves, identify yourself as an athlete, as an occupational athlete, somebody that goes to work and they're physically challenged, right? Then we start to live our life different. We start to adopt a new lifestyle. It's like, oh yeah, I don't want to eat that. I don't want to eat all that chocolate tonight because I'm an athlete. I did all this exercise and dieting and everything. Why would I want to ruin that? I'm not even that kind of person anymore. I'm an athlete. It's like that's exactly how I quit smoking cigarettes too. It was so hard. I just couldn't knock that habit. I couldn't kick it. But finally, I listened to Tony Robbins, and he was saying you have to literally change the way you see yourself. You have to identify as a different kind of person. So I told myself, I'm a non-smoker now. And every time I had a craving, I would tell myself, why are you even having a craving? You're a non-smoker now. I'm not even that kind of person, Our favorite Patty says, a few months ago, when I was working for a grooming shop, a golden retriever broke my thumb. Ooh, I couldn't. Yeah, that could easily happen with the golden retriever. I couldn't believe the ER nurses made a temporary splint, way past my elbow. LOL, just for my thumb. Oh yeah, because that whole muscle, it goes all the way down, and that's usually I'm like massaging it sometimes because I overwork it and it hurts. But I haven't had to do that. I haven't had to do that ever since I've been exercising, like working out. Isn't that interesting? Because now my muscles are stronger. They're able to handle it. They're able to handle that kind of stress. Let's see. Dolores, oh my goodness, how long did that take to heal? Patty says, it was splintered for 2 days, then casted for 6 weeks. Oh my God. I still am having problems with my thumb, but I'm able to use it at least now. Oh my God. And wow, it's like, and things like that. It's like when a athlete gets injured, if a quarterback, if their thumb got broken, they miss weeks of. But the thing is, quarterbacks in the NFL, at least they get paid millions of dollars. They can miss some time at work. It's not gonna affect them the way it's gonna affect a groomer. So yeah, when you miss 2 weeks of work, 2 days, and then 6 weeks in a cast, and you're not able to get it wet, you're probably not going to be able to wash the dogs with that. It's like we really have to start to consider ourselves as occupational athletes and start taking the proper precautions, start planning better for our future by looking at ourselves as athletes, as physical athletes, because that's what we are. So then in the morning, rather than going to McDonald's or QT even, I used to eat QT breakfast. I don't anymore. I get fruits or vegetables or avocados or hard-boiled eggs. I take Joe Rogan's advice. If it's not a whole food that I can identify, I try not to eat it. Mixed nuts even. Eat nuts, cheese. So here's the thing. Staying with the same lines of being an athlete, this is something that really inspired me. Michael Jordan was saying that he knew that, starting with the end goal in mind, right? Groomers, we want to start with the end goal in mind whenever we start a groom. Same thing with our career. Start with the end goal in mind. Where do you want to end up in your career, right? Do you want to be a 70-year-old groomer, still grooming dogs, in order to pay the bills? I don't know if I want that for me. So if I want to start with the end goal in mind, Michael Jordan said he knew that he would one day get too old to play basketball and earn a living. So he knew that he needed other opportunities, and he had to get, he had to become valuable in order to open up doors for himself and for the future, so that he doesn't have to play basketball for the rest of his life in order to make money. But here's what Jordan said that really inspired me. He said, but I knew that none of those opportunities would come if I wasn't the best at my game. He said, so that's all I focused on. He didn't focus on what kind of things that he would do after he got done playing basketball. Once he retired, what am I going to do? He didn't think about any of that while he was playing the game. When he was playing for the Bulls, playing for, what was his name? Oh, Phil Jackson. You know, Scotty. Anyways, when he was playing for Phil Jackson, he never once thought about what he was going to do after he retired. He only focused 100% on every practice, every game in front of him, because he knew that by doing that and by always trying to compete with himself, always trying to be better than he was the game before, he knew that if he kept doing that, once he was ready to retire, he wouldn't have to worry about it. He knew that there would be other opportunities and doors would open for him as long as he played the game with his whole heart. And that really inspired me. And it's like, yeah, I know that I'm gonna get to a point where I get I won't be able to do this anymore physically. I won't be able to groom dogs in order to make money. So if I want other opportunities to open up for me to travel the world and be a speaker, maybe a motivational speaker, maybe a business coach, maybe a success coach. I don't know. I mean, I know I talk crap about these people, but the only reason why I talk crap about them is because I don't like it when somebody's a business coach or a life coach or success coach or anything like that, and they're 18 years old. It's like, fuck that, man. Go out there and fail a little bit and get some bumps and bruises, and then come and help me, because right now you don't know shit, you know. Um, but when you're older, I feel like you have experiences, you have valuable lessons that you can share, because you have failures, you have challenges, you have all of these experiences that are valuable. But when you're 18 years old, why the fuck would I pay $5,000 for you to tell me how to run my business? Anyways, but yeah, if I want those opportunities for myself in the future, I have to just focus 100% on my game now. Our favorite groomer. 2 days after I got my 2 days after I get my cast off, my little dachshund Yorkie was walking me, and I slipped on the ice and broke my tailbone. Oh my god! Legs went up in the air and landed flat on my tailbone. Even broke the skin. ER nurse says, "OMG, maybe you should stay away from dogs for a while." Yeah, or just what I like to do is constantly be mindful of, to bring myself back to my breath. Here's an interesting thing: whenever I'm grooming, and I'm like just kind of getting into it, I just get in the zone. I forget that I'm tensing up sometimes, right? And so as soon as I take a deep breath, or I bring my awareness, my attention back to my breath, all of a sudden, like I'm like, why is my butthole tensed up? Like, why am I tensing up my butthole? And like I'll relax my butthole. And I don't know why it's always my butthole. Why do I tense that? Maybe that's why they say like people are uptight. When you're stressed and tensed and have this anxiety, your butthole clenches up. Maybe, I don't know. But anyways, I'll be like scissoring a dog. I mean, this happens often enough for me to like think that maybe this is a problem. But like, yeah, I'll be combing out a top knot on a poodle or something, or Bichon, his head, and I'm like working, concentrating really hard working, and then I'll tell myself, just breathe, relax. And then I'll be like, oh, I'm tense. Oh, why is my butthole clenched? And then I'm like, oh, relax the butthole. Relax the anus, relax my muscles. Oh. Okay, cool. Sorry, I just got a text message coming. So anyways, yeah, I like to, periodically check in with myself during the day and just bring myself back to my breath. And then I realized, I was tense. Sometimes I'll be gripping the steering wheel on the drive home, and then I'll breathe. I'm like, oh, why am I squeezing the steering wheel? It's this tension that we're even unaware of. So when the body's tensed, it's we start to feel tired and achy and things like that. So always just bring yourself back to the breath and just remind yourself to relax. Because when we're relaxed and when we're calm, our immune system works better, our digestive system works better, our circulatory system, everything, our nervous system, everything works better when you're calm and relaxed. Because when you're in this tense fight or flight kind of mode, and we don't even know why, we just have this anxiety building up, and we're not even aware of it, then we tense up. And then it's like, when you're tense, your digestion slows, your immune system slows, everything just kind of, and then you feel achy and sore, your butthole hurts. I'm kidding. Anyways, our favorite groomer, ER nurse, says, oh yeah, I read that. Okay, perfect. So if we don't have any more questions, I actually do have to hit the gym tonight. I got my biceps in my back tonight. Anyways, so thank you guys so much for joining me. Oh man, that's chai latte. Oh, I love that. Anyways, if there's no other questions, not favorite grammar. LOL. Exactly. I can relate. It's usually my back always hurting from bending. Oh my goodness. Okay, so today, I'm glad you mentioned that, Patty. Today, while I was while I was listening to Amy, actually, the Go Groomer live stream earlier, I was watching that little beaver in a utility tub in their washer room. And yeah, I'm bending over because I'm a tall guy. I'm bending over, and my back was hurting, my lower back, And so I remember this trick that my gym teacher taught me when I was in high school. When I was in high school, I was fortunate enough for like one semester, I was part of the gymnastics team, and I was the base because I was a big fat kid, right? And so I was a base, and so that means that like the smaller girls would get on top, and their feet would be on my shoulders, and I would have to lift them up, and I would hold the back of their legs, like around the ankle calf area. I would hold the back and steady them on top of my shoulders. And here's a little trick that the coach Ray Fawn taught us. It's called the pelvic thrust, and I literally did it. I did the pelvic thrust today against the sink so that my back wouldn't hurt, and it works. So let me. Uh, Patty says today went good. I bought table risers and such a difference. Okay, let me teach you the pelvic thrust, and this is going to change your world. The pelvic thrust. Um, when he first taught it to me, I laughed because it just seems so silly. But let me show you. So when you're bent over like this, or anything, or even if you're just standing like this with somebody on top of you with their legs, it puts a lot of pressure on your back. It puts a lot of pressure on your lower back, and it hurts. You could hurt yourself. So what he taught me was to push your pelvic bone forward. And when you push your pelvic bone forward, it kind of locks your body so that the pressure coming down doesn't hurt your back. It relieves it. And a good way to do it, the good way to know that you get a good pelvic thrust going, is you want to clench your butt muscles. You want to tighten your butt muscles as hard as you can and push your pelvis forward. So like this. Say this right here, the end of the table, is the table or the tub that you're leaning over. You literally want to get down, right? Get down to the and so I don't have enough room here. But okay, let's just say that the table's right there, right here. You literally want to thrust. So pelvic thrust, right? And that means your butt muscles are tight. See that? So now that I have my pelvis going forward, right, and my butt muscles are tight, even if somebody's on top of me, and even if I'm leaning over a tub, because I'm thrusting my pelvic bone right into the tub, and I'm keeping this area straight, then I can lean over here like this. But as long as my pelvic bone is, I hope you're watching me. Holy shit! I just made love to this table. Oh my god! I was like humping this table. It's called the pelvic thrust. It's not called humping, okay? Holy shit. Pauline, go, Jude. Get it, right? Oh, shoot. Anyways, one of these streams, I'm going to get through the whole thing without without doing something outrageous. Holy shit. Okay, but anyways, Patty, I'm blaming you because okay, okay, no blame. That was my fault. I shouldn't have got so enthusiastic about the pelvic thrust. I probably should have checked my surroundings first before I started thrusting against the table like that. Shoot. Holly, is there customers there besides? Yes, there's one right up on the next, and there's some right there. whatever. I'm a table humper. So what? Judge me. Claire Charleston. Okay, thank you, Claire. The one time you decide to chime in is to laugh at me when I'm already feeling embarrassed. Oh man. Anyways, I'm glad I got to share that. But keep that in mind, seriously. Even though it was kind of funny, it actually is a pretty serious. Like it's actually a very helpful technique. You want to push your pelvic bone forward, right? And even if you're holding like a golden retriever or like a big dog, right? Rather than just pick them up, you want to lift with your legs, of course. Keep your back straight. But once you stand up, you want to clench your butt muscles tight and kind of push your pelvic bone forward. That way, even though you're holding the dog, it's not going to put a lot of stress on your lower back. Okay? So pelvic thrust. Please remember that. And the next time you're thrusting against the table and somebody thinks that you're humping or doing something crazy, just say, no. I got this from June the Groomer. Like, it's legit. Oh, man. I remember go. I will try that. Yes, and make sure the pet owner is there. Make sure your client is there, and you explain this pelvic thrust that you're doing, and you want to thrust a good few times, right in front of them. Make sure wipe off your sweat. Say, man, I hope you include a good tip for that. Anyways, all right. Before I end up making, my dad is the pet parent. That would be so awesome. Could you imagine? Your dad walks in on you and you're thrusting against the table. And you only have to do it once. I was only doing it over and over to show you how to do it. But you only have to lock it in once, boom, do that thrust, and you lock it. You don't have to keep thrusting like I did. But if you do, and your dad walked in, holy crap, I would love for you to record that and send it to me. Oh man, his facial respect. I mean, what would you do? What would I do if I was an old man and I walked into my daughter thrusting against the table like that with my dog on there? I'd be like, you know what? I'm gonna go get some coffee. All right, Claire Charleston. It's 2 a.m. here. Whoa, my 16-year-old lab has woke me up for no reason, barking. Thanks for giving me a laugh and fab tip to thrust him. Do that pelvic thrust right in his face. You want to bark? Thrust your face. Anyways. Patty says, I laughed my ass off. He would be like, what are you doing? I don't even think I would ask. If it was me, I would like, even it might come out like, what are you? Never mind. I don't even want to know. I'm going to go get some coffee with a bottle of Bailey's. Forget I ever saw this. I will stream it. Nice. Claire Charleston, too far. Okay, that might be too far. You don't have to pelvic thrust their face. I'm sorry I went there. Every once in a while you gotta test the limits, see how far you can go, how far I'll go. What is that? Shoot, that Moana song. Oh. Anyways, I hope you guys have a great night. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up. Get to the gym. And man, I'm gonna pelvic thrust. I want to pelvic thrust while I'm doing my workout. Scare everybody out of there. I like an empty gym, and usually the pelvic thrust is a good way to just get everybody out. There was an LOL at the end. Okay, well, the thing is, I probably did go too far, and if you enjoyed that, kind of shows what kind of person you are. Maybe you want to rethink. Maybe you want to rethink how you're living your life and everything. I mean, is this really how you? I'm scared. I need to rethink my life. Holy crap. Anyways, I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna try to behave myself, and I'm not gonna pelvic thrust again for the rest of the night. Seriously, I'm not gonna pelvic thrust. Okay, I don't want to lie. Maybe when I get home late at night, I'll be thrusting the pillow. Okay, anyways. Um, Paulina, pelvic thrust will definitely remember. Thanks, dude. You're having fun. It's all good. Clara Charleston, you're right. Oh, well, okay. No, no, you're right about you being. No, no. Like attracts like. I'm pretty crazy, and I acknowledge that. I'm like, dude, why am I so weird? I really like legitimately wonder that sometimes. Like, out of all the people I've ever met, I've never met anybody like myself. I think I'm pretty weird, But anyways, hey, Claire, looks like I met a. It looks like I met my match. You're pretty weird yourself. Anyways, I hope you took that as a compliment because that's how I meant it. From one weird person to another, I honor the weirdness in you. That's also in me. Anyways, so let me try to end this professionally. Okay. So I hope tonight was very beneficial for everybody. I hope you guys got a lot of value out of the information that we shared. Thank you so much for your time. And I honor the light in you that's also in me. Namaste.